Hi and welcome. Today we're focusing on the significance of due dates in your Canvas DE class. Due dates are the dates on the calendar on which a specific assignment, discussion, or other form of assessment is due. So pretty obvious, right? On the calendar it says on September 20th, quiz 1 is due. That's what we're talking about in this area of content. On the one hand, they seem like a very simple thing. It's like, okay, a due date, totally get it. I want to suggest to you that due dates are not always a simple thing, and thus one of the blocks here focusing on this important concept. Canvas has a very easy approach to assigning due dates to any assignment or discussion. Somewhere in the assessment, you'll have a choice of selecting due dates that include things like due, available, and until. And as an example of that, I might have a discussion like this one here, and I choose whom to assign it to, typically the whole class. I set the due date and time here. Very easy. Click on that. The calendar comes up. I can then click available from and until. Very important to have this established. If you don't have due dates in your class, you're not setting rigorous academic standards for your students. In an in-person class, we don't say it's self-paced and you can turn in things whenever you want. Likewise, in a DE class, we have to say due dates are very important and necessary to the success of our students and also to our own success and sanity when it comes to being able to chunk the material over periods of time such that you're not grading 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, one thing that's pretty clear in Canvas is there's redundancy built in. So you will see, for example, even if you don't set some of this stuff up, you'll see the due date here on Personal Reflection 1, September 27th. You will also see that on the calendar tool, which is available on the Canvas shell for you and your students. You also see it on the assignment tab itself or discussion tab itself. So what I recommend to you is that while Canvas has an approach to due dates that's simple, easy, efficient, issues do come up with students who may claim that they did not know when an assignment is due. You're going to encounter that in your class, so the question is, how do you approach that little emotional hurdle you might have with a student or two? Generally, with all of the built-in redundancy in Canvas, as I just showed you in all those cases, it could be 4, 5, even 6 different places, the excuse is rarely legitimate. So I really recommend to you not allowing that excuse to affect your teaching or giving makeups when it is really on the student to be responsible and to know the calendar due dates. Again, it's your choice, academic freedom, to decide on makeup policies for missed work. We do encourage you to apply strict, no excuse, no makeup due date standards in your Canvas class. If you don't do that, it could be total chaos in terms of your work with your students. The reason for this is that a DE class never meets in person, and we should use the due dates in the class as an opportunity to educate our students about deadline skills that they will need in future work and educational opportunities. You can tell your students, hey, your boss is not going to let it fly. If you're late the 3rd time in a row and you tell them, I forgot, I'm sorry, they're going to say, you should have had a calendar, you should have had the due date, you should have had your work date on your phone, you're fired kind of thing. So it's part of training students some of the professional skills and obligations that really do extend beyond our disciplines per se. As we covered in the academic rigor block, setting up our students with no standards in terms of deadlines may be akin to setting them up for life and professional failure. We think we're being nice, but we may be doing them a great disservice. So please consider that when you're establishing the sanctity of due dates in your Canvas class. As a community of DE educators, let us commit ourselves to not allowing work extensions or makeups if they are solely for the student reason of, I forgot the assignment was due. Really have to combat that. So be strict about your due dates in your Canvas class. You will be better for it as a high-quality DE instructor. At this point, you can continue to your next block.